Ballet ladies. My apologies again for this being so delayed, but without further ado, here is your technique class from what would have been on Thursday. So today we're going to start with a core strengthening exercise on the floor. You can do this in any space that you have available for you, preferably something that has maybe if you have carpet or a nice comfy rug or something that you can lay on. So we're going to lay on our backs and legs are in parallel, feet are pointed. You're going to take and place your fingers, you can lace them just behind your head, and you want to feel your elbows opening and everything very wide and flat on the floor. So for our preparation, we have 5, 6, lifting the legs off, 7, and then we just take our head and upper back off the floor. And then 2 counts apiece. You're going to take your right elbow and touch it to your left knee, 1 and 2, and then we change 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8, 1 and 2, and 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now ladies, when you're doing this exercise, you want to try to be sure that you're not just bending your elbow this way to try to touch your knee, but as your knee comes up and your upper back is lifted off the floor, you want to spiral to meet that elbow to your knee. And then of course for the other side, the same thing, spiraling the other way. So you're not only working these core muscles, but also the obliques, which are the muscles on the side of your torso. And each time you twist or spiral, you'll be working a whole set of muscles that are so very important for our core. So I believe that you have a set of 8. So you'll have right 1, left 1, right 2, left 2, right 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, and 8, and 8. Once you have finished, so we're here. We've done our last one to the left, or left knee, left elbow to the right knee. You're going to come back to center and lower the legs, and then it feels really nice. If you'll roll over, I'm going to change my body position, but and then just press up so that, and get a nice little stretch in the front area where we were just strengthening. So, and when you do this and take this stretch out, try to make sure your shoulders aren't up, but keep your shoulders pressing down so that your necks are very long, and just gently push and feel the nice stretch from in the front of your core muscles. All right, so again, remembering you want to be sure that you're doing a spiral as much as possible and not just bending your elbows in this way, right? It's a spiral in the spine that helps us touch our elbow to our knee. All right, so get ready. Okay, so on your backs, go ahead and lace your hands, fingers behind your head. And we'll get started. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Spiral 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8. 1 and 2, 3 and 2 ground pliés. One with the arm porte-bras opening en dehors and then reversing en dedans with our porte-bras. So from first position, we'll start with our regular preparation, 6 and 7 and 8. And we have our grand and 2 and 3 and stretch up 4 and 5, 6 and 7 and 8. We're going to stretch over to the front. 2 and take your other hand off, place it on the floor. 3 and 4. Demi-plie, 5, stretching up 6, coming up 7, undo 7. Grand plie, 2 and 3 and 4, and grand plie, 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. For this stretch, we're going to go back down into a nice deep grand plie. And 2, so now your hamstrings are basically parallel with the floor. You're going to extend your right leg out. 3 and 4, stay 5, stay 6. Be sure that this knee is not falling forward. So really be sure that the little toe pinky toe is staying connected to the floor on supporting leg, the standing leg side. we stay through 5 and 6, just pulling it back into that deep grand plie, 7, and push tendu, rond de jambe to 4th. Same thing in 4th, and 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. Tendu. So this is a port de bras that happens before you start the stretch. The arm lengthens and it has a breath, and the head and your eyes are looking at that hand. And then we'll lunge down to, just start it forward, 3, coming up to demi-plie, 4, really rotating and turning out that back leg as we arch back, 5 and 6, stretch up 7, close 5th, and then 1 and 2, and 3 and 4, 5 and 6 and 7, 8. We'll take just a nice regular port de bras front and back in 5th, over and 2. Remember to release your neck so you're not looking at the floor, but you should be looking at your knees. 3, and coming up 4, and a nice arch back, 5 and 6, and recover, and we'll pull up and just find a little balance with the arm in 5th position, and finish. So a little bit different stretch in 2nd position, but it's basically like you're doing half a split in 2nd. It's just nice to kind of feel that little stretch in your hamstrings. So let's get ready. And 1st position. All right. Our first time to exercise is working slowly so that we can really feel our rotation and turnout. And also thinking about, again, keeping the whole foot connected to the floor so that we're not rolling forward and letting the back pinky toe and maybe that toe next to it peel off, but the whole entire foot staying connected to the floor. So from first position, be sure your heels are together and you're really pulling up as much as possible. We'll take our arms to second, 6, 7, and 8. So our exercise starts with plie, tendu front. Cross it, close in fifth. You're still in demi-plie. Going back out, tendu 5, carry second 6, close and stretch 7, 8. And 1, tendu second. Carry to the back, all the way across, because we're closing into fifth. Tendu back, carry side, and close 7 and 8. 1, tendu back, cross it 3, close in fifth 4, and out, carry second, close 7, 8, and 1 last time coming second, carry front, closing fifth, and out, carry second, closing 7, 8. We'll just rise up in first, and let go and just find a little balance. All right, so in first position, working nice and slow. 5, 6, 'Rising to bats. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Back and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Plie, releve, tight fifth, soutenu, plie, stretch other side. So 8 to the front, 8 to the side, 8 to the back, 4 to the side, plie, releve fifth, turn around, and we'll plie and finish right away with the music. So again, the accent is into fifth, and 2, and 3, and 4. Ready. Fifth position with your right foot in front. And 6 and 7, 8, and fifth, and 2, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, and 8, 2, 7, 3. Cross as far as you can. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Plie up, 2, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Straight knees to close. 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Plie and up and turn. Okay. Okay, ladies, we're going to take our dégagés facing our bar apparatus. Right foot in front, fifth position. Preparation 5, 6, 7, and 8. So you have 8 dégagés to second position, closing in fifth back. Cross 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 front. Crossing front. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 closing back. 3 and 4. 4 closing front. 4 to the front. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. No. 3 to the front. 1 and a 2 and a 3. The fourth one changes to close back. And then we have 4 to the back. Change legs. Close back in 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and front. 2. Sliding that heel all the way across. Back in 2 and a 3 and a 4. Front and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. 3 to the front. 1 change. And 4 to the back and 7 and 8. So we do it right, we do it left. Repeat. And the repeat speeds up. So you may recall hearing this music before. So it's very brisk, but you still want to try and slide across as far as possible with that heel, trying to reach the opposite toes. In front or in back and in front. One thing to be thinking about as you're taking the exercise, the first time through and on the repeat when it's quicker, is that it's just the leg that's moving. You don't want to try to do dégagé by lifting your hip. Sometimes we have just a misconception that we are lifting our leg when we do dégagé, but I want you to try to think of it as not a lift of the leg, but
a release that happens by pushing down into the floor. If you think about that as you take your dégagés to second position, your hips should stay nice and quiet, and you should be able to move very quickly. If you start getting your hip involved, then that causes everything in your upper body to get really loose, and it slows you down, right? So always thinking about dégagés, not a lifting of the leg, but it's a pushing down and release of the leg, right? It's very helpful in your dancing to be able to release the legs without involving the hips, which therein would involve your upper body getting very loose. So right foot in front. Ready? 6, 7, 8, and back. Back, back. 5, 6, 7, 8, and front, cross, cross. 4 back. 4 cross front. 3 to front. Change 4 to the back. Back, back. 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 2, 3, 4. Cross and cross and cross and cross. Back into 4 front, front, front. 3 front and 2 and 3 and change and back in 6 and 7 and 8 and 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. Front and front. Front and front and front and front. Cross back and back and back and back and front and front and front and front. 1, 2, 3 and change and back and back and back and back and back. 5, 6, 7, 8. Back in 2 and 3 and 4. 5, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3 and change and back and back and back. Now, wasn't that fun? I hope you all felt it in your inner thighs. That was definitely a workout for the inner thighs. Really helps. The more we strengthen the inner thigh muscles, the better our beats are on jumps and things of that nature. Okay, so I have to catch my breath. And we'll continue in a moment. Going to continue facing the bar with some relevés. So in first position, preparation 7 and 8. Plie and relevé, and plie and relevé, and plie and up, and plie and up. Plie and up, plie and up, plie and up, plie and up. If you weren't counting, that's 8 relevés in first position. You're going to pick plie. Let's pick up the left foot. And plie, relevé, and plie, relevé, and plie, relevé. Work your turn out and stretch a la seconde. And then bring it to the front. Coupe, relevé, plie, relevé, plie, relevé, plie, and stretch it. Close in first, plie, and start again. 8 relevés in first. 5, 6, 7, 8. And then on the left, picking up the right foot, coupe back, plie and up, plie, releve, The rotation in both legs all the time, keeping our little toes on the floor, trying to maximize our demi-plie every time in between, especially when you're doing the releves on one leg. And of course, working on very, very high demi-point, heels up as far and as high as you can get them to go. It's a nice calf builder for strength and very nice high releves. So ready in first position. 6, 7, 8. Plie, releve. Plie up. Plie up. Plie up. Plie up. Plie up. Plie up. On the left. Out. Parterre, and with some grand rondation en l'air, so off the floor as well. Some of the videos that I've watched, I think maybe from our first week of online classes, I gave a couple of corrections to some of you regarding turnout through first position and making sure that you are completing your circle. So particularly on the en dedans version of our rond de jambe, you must be sure that your pinky toe is sliding back as you pass through first, and that we're not doing something where the heel falls back and we come into almost a parallel position with the moving leg, and then turn it back out, and then it turns back out a little bit. So that's one thing that I want you to really focus on in this exercise, is pulling the pinky toe back so that when you're passed through first position, you have a real true first and not something that looks like this, right? The other thing that I was talking about, or I've given some corrections on, is to be sure that you are really, truly come straight out from first position and point your foot, that's where your rond de jambe needs to come to. All the way to that place. Some of us were getting a little bit short. See how I'm not quite straight out from my first position? I would need to go a good 3 to 4 inches further for that to be a full, true rond de jambe and technically correct. Right, so those are some things to think about and work on. Also, couple of other ideas for you to think about as you're doing this exercise. En dehors, as you reach second position, you want to think of the leg continuing to rotate and turn out. Now, I just took mine off the floor because I'm trying to demonstrate the idea that the leg continues to turn out and rotate even more to reach the back. Some of us sometimes have a tendency to start rotating the leg this way as we are coming en dehors and passing, coming from second to the back. It's as if you were anticipating it going to the back, so you're already starting to turn it in. I want you to think of the opposite. Especially en dehors, the heel is leading forward, and then you reach your second position, and then you continue rotating so much that the leg carries to the back. And on the en dedans, as you're circling the leg to second position, you want to think of the heel coming forward so that you have a nice, really turned out and rotated position of the leg as it's coming out of the arabesque to the second position, and then again finishing to the front. So the exercise is as follows. We'll take plie, or opening the arms 5, 6, then we plie 7, stretch 8. We have 4 rond de jambes en dehors, 1 and 2, heel coming through the first position, 4, and then just 45 degrees off, 5, 6, go beyond second position, 7 and 8. And then off the floor, low, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and then we lift to 90 degrees, 6, and 7, tendu close. Reverse, en dedans, 4, 3, 2, 1, 45 degrees off the floor, 6, and 7, 8, and then off the floor, 2, and 3, and 4, and lifting 5, carry second, 6, carry front, 7, tendu, plie 5th, soutenu, and just sliding open to that first position on the left side. We go right away on the left. 4 on the floor, en dehors, and then 1 4 count at 45 degrees. Then we have 4 off the floor at 45 degrees. And 1 4 count at 90 degrees or higher. And then we reverse en dedans. One other thing to kind of think about, as I mentioned in our dégagé exercise, you don't want to do anything with your hip when you do dégagé, right? The hips should stay very square, quiet, quiet and motionless. Well, you also want your hips to stay very quiet and rondeggiant, right? You don't want a whole lot happening. It's just a circle of the leg in the hip socket, right? So you don't want your hips to get involved, right? We're trying to be and move as efficiently as possible. We want to isolate so that we're just moving the leg in the circle. Okay? So first position on the first side. Okay, ladies, that's an exercise that I would like to see some videos on. I'm really enjoying watching what you're doing at home, so keep up the good work. When you send those videos, for those of you that have been doing so, I would like it to be from the side. So just as you were viewing me in this, as I demonstrated the exercise, I would like the same camera angle so I can really see what's happening with your legs. And the rotation, and your passing through first position, ande or and ande dan. Okay? Okay, ladies, we're gonna take a stretch. This is an advanced stretch for an elite ballet class. So, I'm gonna show on the left side, just because my left foot's been bothering me the past couple of days, so I'm going to be standing on my right foot in order to help alleviate some of that. So we have our preparation arm open to second. You're gonna pick up the foot, 1, and coming to passe on 2. Plie, lift the heel in the front, like to a little attitude. 3, and stretch it out 4. Really stretching the standing leg, very, very important. So you're out by 4. We're going to plie, attitude, and again lift the heel. 5, 6, and 7, and 8. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and then you're going to let go. 5, 6, 7, close 8. To second position. 1, and 2, and 3, 4. So you're picking it up just like you did to the front, except now you're going to stretch it out to second. 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. We rotate forward. We're really probably good at that. And back to center, rotated back. 3, and 4. Let go. 5, 6, 7, and close 8. To the back. And 2. So you're going to take your hand and grab below your knee. Do not grab your knee, either below or above. And pulling it around behind you. 3, and 4. And plie attitude, lifting and pulling that knee up. 5, and 6, and stretch it out. 7, and 8. Again, plie attitude. 3, and stretch. 4, 5, 6, and 7. Close 8. Then we have one last time. 1, and 2. Pick it up, grabbing your heel, lifting the heel up. 3, and 4. And 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. Rotate forward. 2. Rotate it back. 4. Let go. 5, and 6, and 7. Close, turn around, other side. So in each place, whether the leg's front, side, or back, be really sure that your standing knee is getting fully stretched. And I've already mentioned this, but to the front, you want to make sure your leg's really, truly front. That's for you, Stella. Not just her, but that was one of the corrections that she's got from a video she submitted. And also, everybody, you want to be sure that your leg is really behind you in the arabesque. That it's not out here on a diagonal, just like we don't want the leg out to the front on a diagonal, so that we're really, truly crossed front and back. So, get ready. I will do the other side with you. Just because I have stretched on that side. Pick it up. 2, 3, 4. Stretch it out. 5, 6, 7, if you're not quite there yet, it's something to keep working towards. Okay, so we'll take a moment before we do a couple of things here in our without the bar. Okay, ladies, we'll take our grand battement here in your center floor space. We have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. So this is in croisé devant. We change en face to go au second. 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. So my fault on that. The first grand battement to second closes front, and then we change after that. And then we continue to the next corner to go arabesque. This is third arabesque. 2 and 3 and 4. Little C-sewn. So the same arabesque that we're just doing with grand battement. We do C-sewn forward. Then we're going to C-sewn towards the front leg, releasing the back leg to second position. Closes front. We C-sewn back. And then we would C-sewn towards the front leg, releasing the back leg to second. Close front. Other side. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. First one closes front, then we change, then 6, 7 and 8. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. C-sewn forward, C-sewn side, C-sewn back. That's effacé devant, C-sewn second. So remember, C-sewn is scissors. So it's like your legs are doing a little scissor action. This is C-sewn fermé, which means closed. All that means is that the C-sewn finishes in 5th position. Each one is going to close into 5th. Close 5th, close 5th, close 5th, close 5th. Okay? So, really think about your body position of the head in the croisé devant. Nice stretch standing leg as you take your grand battements to the front, side, and the back, really. And remember that your body position changes as you release the leg to the next position. So I just did my 4 front. As I'm going to go side, that's when I change my body position or face it. 2, 3, 4. And then we change our hips to the other corner for our third arabesque. And then our hips stay in the same place for our little C-sewn in a box. And then we prepare for the other side. So, put your right foot in front, croisé. And we'll give it a try. turn and erect. Release the front leg, and you're going to do a rond de jambe and change your body direction to face the sidewalk. Soutenu and soutenu, arms to fifth. Now you continue, face the back wall and soutenu to the back. And then the last side wall, soutenu, first one, arms in first. Then you're going to take the second one right away, changing to front. So that's a little release of the back foot, bringing it forward, tendu. And then we go the other way. So 2, and then 2 to the side, and then 2 to the back, and 1 to the side, and 1 finishing front, release, plie, stretch. So what I really want to look for there is I want to be sure again that everybody is crossing that fifth before you start to try to turn. So you have to make fifth position on demi-point before you turn it. Really important. Show off your fifth position. The second leg closes front. That's another thing. I know I've seen some who have tried to do soutenu by closing that leg in the back. If you're going to close it in the back, then you have to turn the other way. So all of these soutenus, the second leg, this is the second leg, the closing leg, this is the leading leg or the first leg, this is the closing second leg, closes front. And then you unwind and turn out of it. So arms in first on the first one, arms go down to go up to fifth, and arms close first, and arms go down to go up fifth. Arms close first, arms go down to go up to fifth, and then first and fifth. And then we go the other way. So I would like to see videos of this from the front. So as you are viewing me in this video, that's the angle that I would like you to record your soutenu exercise in. So get ready, right foot in front. entrechecot and 1 royale. So entrechecot, remember, beats in the back, lands front, back, lands front, and then you have 15 of those, and royale beats in the front, lands back. So they're kind of the opposites of each other. Really using your plie, heels on the floor, keeping your arms very nice and quiet and still, right? So we don't want our elbows falling back or anything like that. Let me find your music. All right, here we go. So again, 15 entrechecot, 1 royale, changes your feet. So then you have 15 entrechecot with the left leg in front and 1 royale that changes your feet. Ready? Here we go. Okay, ladies, so again, my apologies for it being so delayed and me getting you this video, but I hope that we have lots of things that we can work on, and I feel like there are. Feel free to submit as many videos as you would like. Some of you I have not received any videos from. I would really like to see everybody because I miss you all so very much. I hope you all are well, and until next time, happy dancing.